At first, no one believed she was gone. There was no scream, no struggle, no warning. Just a woman walking out of her house in the morning and disappearing from existence. No phone signal, no camera footage that made sense, no final message, only silence. And when the forest finally gave something back, it didn't give answers. It gave something much worse, a reminder that some places don't return what they take. Melissa Cassius was 54 years old. To everyone around her, she was forgettable in the most unsettling way. She kept to herself. She avoided attention. She lived a life that seemed carefully erased of noise. She worked in a controlled, high-security scientific environment, a place where people learned to say less and observe more. But over time, her colleagues noticed something subtle, yet disturbing. She would pause mid-task, stare at nothing for too long. And sometimes, she would ask questions she immediately forgot asking. It was as if her thoughts were slowly slipping out of reach, as if something inside her was quietly disconnecting. On an ordinary morning in 2025, Melissa Cassius left her home. No one saw anything unusual, no distress, no argument, no reason to worry. She did not take her phone. She did not take her identification. She did not tell anyone where she was going. She simply stepped outside and walked away. Neighbors later described her movement as calm, almost automatic, like someone following instructions only she could hear. And after that moment, she was never seen again in that neighborhood. At first, no alarm was raised. People assumed she would return. But hours passed, then an entire day. Her workplace confirmed she never arrived. Her phone remained silent. No location data, no activity, no trace. By the second day, concern turned into fear. Search teams were organized. Police combed nearby roads. Helicopters scanned the surrounding region. But something was wrong. There was no direction to follow. It was as if Melissa Cassius had never chosen a path at all, just vanished between points of reality. Investigators expanded their search into deeper forest zones, miles of dense wilderness, areas rarely touched by human presence, the kind of forest where sound disappears too quickly, where even time feels slower. Search dogs were deployed. They followed faint traces toward the tree line, but the trail broke, then disappeared completely. No clothing, no footprints, no struggle, nothing. It was as if the forest had erased her presence entirely. And in missing person cases, that is the most disturbing outcome of all, because nature usually leaves evidence, unless something interferes with it. Months passed, then nearly a year. The case began to fade from public attention, until a new search sweep was conducted in a remote section of forest, far from roads, far from known trails. And there, they found her. Melissa Cassius was discovered deep in the wilderness. The condition of the scene raised immediate questions. Nearby, investigators found a firearm, but no clear signs of prolonged struggle, no witnesses, no clear timeline of how she reached that location, and no explanation for why she would have gone there alone. The forest had finally given something back, but it refused to explain itself. Without clear answers, speculation filled the silence. Some suggested mental distress, others pointed to workplace pressure. But nothing fully explained the gaps in her timeline. No final message, no digital trace of intent, no confirmed sightings during her final hours. And because of her background in a sensitive scientific environment, online theories spiraled rapidly. Some believed she had discovered something she should not have. Others insisted it was a tragic psychological collapse, but authorities remained silent on key details, and silence often speaks louder than answers. Today, the case remains unresolved in public understanding. There is no confirmed narrative that explains everything, no final truth that closes the story, only fragments and silence. In the forest where she was found, nothing marks the exact location, no memorial that explains what happened, just trees, standing still, as if they are holding on to something they refuse to release. And sometimes, when the wind moves through them just right, it feels less like nature and more like memory. Still alive, still watching, still remembering her.
If you enjoy scary true stories, real crime, and paranormal cases from around the world, subscribe to Fear Lurker for the next case.